Tonight, it's here. Snow is falling in the nation's capital.
We saw it coming and definitely want to get the tires on there to be safe.
Drivers rushing to make the switch to winter tires as slick roads keep people on their toes. Braving the snow and powering towards history, Atletico Ottawa looks to win its first league title.
You probably wouldn't see me outdoors any other time during the winter, but for this game, yes.
The hometown team hosting Calgary's Cavalry FC in the Canadian Premier League final. And remembering Canadian heroes past and present.
We're not forgetting you, we're remembering you every single day, every moment. That we are breathing, we are living safely because of their efforts, their contributions.
As Remembrance Day approaches, some communities hold ceremonies to pay their respects. Good evening, and thank you for joining us. Many of us wish this wasn't the case, but we knew it was coming, and the snow is here. A blast of winter hitting the roads as snow is quickly covering all the surfaces here in Ottawa. CTV's Natalie Van Roy is live outside here in the Byward Market with more. And Natalie, it looks like this snow will last into the evening, and it may have an impact on tomorrow's commute.
That's right, Austin. It's coming down pretty heavily right now this hour, and I've been out for hours today on the road. I think a lot of people were caught off guard by this snow. I saw a number of tow trucks towing damaged vehicles that were noticeably involved in crashes, a sign that you really need to slow down and adjust to these winter-like conditions. A steady stream of winter tire swaps on Sunday at this Ottawa business.
We're probably covering about 120 cars a week.
Drivers rushing in, trying to get ahead of the first major snowfall of the season, hitting the nation's capital.
The summer tires on there right now.
Jonathan Williams started the process on Saturday.
First thing is getting the winter tires on. Aside from that, also, we keep our cars in the garage in the winter, so I had to do some garage cleanup in prep for that.
Ottawa seeing a blanket of the white stuff. Environment Canada says to expect between 10 to 20 centimeters of snow by the time the storm ends. Salt trucks out on the roads and highways.
It's really taking your time and driving to those conditions that are out there. If you have your snow tires on, that's good. If not, sooner than later, hopefully. But it is the first storm, so be cautious as you get used to those conditions.
Between noon and 4 p.m. on Sunday, OPP East Region say they responded to more than 120 collisions. There were no reported fatalities. The flurries are expected to last into the work week, which may have an impact on the early morning commute.
This is definitely earlier than last year. It is right around the start of our season, but it's not uncommon to have weather at this time. So, as always, we're prepared for it.
Williams is hoping it's just a blast of winter, with warmer temperatures still on the horizon.
Definitely feels early. First week of November, second week of November, shouldn't need to be getting winter tires on yet.
And if you are heading out on the road, make sure that you do take it slow, adjust to these winter-like conditions. Make sure that you have a snow brush as well and top up your window washer fluid. Personally, I always travel with a emergency kit as well in the winter, which has a blanket, a change of clothes, warm clothes, and snacks. Awesome.
Yeah, always good reminders, especially this time of year. Natalie, thank you very much for this. CTV's Natalie Van Roy reporting live for us tonight. And as the snow falls, it's a historic day, another historic day for soccer here in Ottawa. The Canadian Premier League Championship is currently underway at TD Place, and fans spend the afternoon braving those freezing temperatures to celebrate. Take a look at this, the snow pummeling fans in the stands ahead of kickoff. You can see there, they're using that orange ball so that people can actually see it amongst the blanket of snow covering the field, but fans keeping their spirits up. And this final is being played with, as I mentioned, that orange ball. Spectators, they're braving through those conditions. CTV's Josh Morano joins us live now with more on how fans are showing their support. Josh.
Yeah, Austin, the snow wasn't nearly as bad as when I was there, but the cold didn't scare anybody off. Fans were down on the Great Lawn at Lansdowne hours before kickoff for Fan Fest, hosted by the club, getting fired up for the biggest match of the year, maybe the biggest match in the club's history. Supporters bundled up in winter coats, scarves, and of course, Atletico Ottawa colors.
It's one of the most important games in the world.
Fans gathering on the Great Lawn at Lansdowne Park in freezing, snowy conditions, hours before the Canadian Premier League Championship to show their support.
I've been here for the Grey Cup in the snow, been here for the outdoor game for the Sens and for the CC7s. Getting outdoors in the winter with this kind of weather is fantastic. Just got to make sure you dress up well.
Few more prepared than longtime fans Colin Van Dyke and Douglas Eady, attending almost every Atletico match this season.
They had a really good year this year, so a little different style of play than the previous year, so I'm hoping that it'll work to their favor.
You probably wouldn't see me outdoors any other time during the winter, but for this game, yes.
This marks Atletico's second appearance in the championship, losing back in 2022 at TD Place, but ahead of kickoff. Fans hoping this year is different, playing at home once again, where the club has a 22-game unbeaten streak.
I think a full stadium would be pretty amazing in this weather, to be honest, but I could see it because I think we got a great fan base here, so we're here to show it.
At the end, we do it for them, we do it for the communities, but also to provide opportunities to local talent that they can become professional athletes in the years to come.
Support over the years has grown. The team says they've sold over 12,000 tickets for the match.
We're just making a new page in the story of Atletico Ottawa, so hopefully we can finish the season with some silverware in their trophy and in our offices as well.
And the weather isn't stopping the Atletico faithful from giving the club one final push.
I'd rather the snow than the rain because we don't get quite as wet in the snow, but yeah, I'm gonna get wet. It's gonna be fun.
So the conditions, as you saw, clearly playing a factor in this one. As we enter halftime, Atletico is tied at a 1-1 draw with Cavalry FC. Austin.
Yeah, and it sounds like that was a beautiful goal. Again, the game is live right now, so we will have updates a little later in the show. CTV's Josh Moreno reporting live for us tonight. Josh, thank you very much. And so the big story of the day is really the snowfall. And you can see here behind me, not a lot of snow to start the day. We got this shot earlier this morning, and then pretty quickly it started coming down. Right now we're sitting at -2 degrees. Our daily low is around -3, so we're not too far off of that right now. And snow is really blanketing much of the entire region. Bancroft is one of the cooler spots in Eastern Ontario at -7 degrees. It's -6 in parts of Gatineau right now, and 2 degrees in Montreal. So they've had a mix of some snow, but also some rain over the course of this afternoon. Here in Ottawa, the snow has been falling quite consistently, probably peaking in the last hour or so, expecting about 2 to 5 centimeters per hour, getting up to 20 centimeters of snow, depending on where you are in the city. Tomorrow's high, -1, and more snow in the forecast, about a 40% chance. 0 degrees is the high in Gatineau. We'll have more in just a little bit. Well, a post-budget pitch today from Canada's Environment and Energy Ministers about Canada's new climate competitiveness strategy. One this government claims merges climate ambitions with energy priorities and economic growth. CTV's Jeremy Sharon reports.
It's a climate strategy that signals a shifting approach. One aiming to deal with a new global trade landscape, rapid technological advancements, and a move toward clean energy around the world, says Canada's Environment Minister.
This strategy connects our climate ambition with a plan for economic growth. It prioritizes measures that deliver the greatest emissions reductions and increases competitiveness at the lowest cost for Canadians.
But the framework is short on details and provides no update on where Canada stands on emissions reduction targets.
This climate competitiveness strategy, when we look at what Canada was doing prior, actually brings us back.
But the government says the plan had to change.
Energy and the environment must go hand in hand.
But balancing environmental ambitions and aspirations for new conventional energy projects will be a challenge. The strategy indicates an emissions cap on oil and gas could be dropped if other measures to cut pollution go ahead, a move industry has long called for.
It's helpful, but it's not anywhere close to providing a level of certainty that companies are going to look for before they're going to invest in things.
Still, the Prime Minister signaled Friday a new pipeline project is going to happen, but his energy minister stopped short of confirming that today.
I learned a long time ago not to get ahead of my boss. There is agreement between the federal government and the Alberta government. We need to continue working on that. Those discussions are live. I will let my boss and the Premier of Alberta decide when they're ready to share the details of that with the public.
It is expected the Prime Minister will announce a second round of nation-building projects this week. Jeremy Sherrill, CTV News, Ottawa.
And the federal government says it is also trying to help those looking to build a house by unveiling a catalog of standardized home designs, And CTV's Annie Bergeron-Oliver reports they say the specifics and the specifications will help to save time and money.
In the decades after the Second World War, neighborhoods like this, filled with almost identical single-family homes, popped up across Canada. Now the federal government is hoping to do it again with a 21st century twist on Victory Homes.
All of these packages provide a big head start for builders looking to build these kinds of homes in our communities.
The housing design catalog created by the Canada Mortgage and Housing Corporation and the federal government features 50 standardized plans with detailed architectural drawings. They range from 493 square foot accessory homes to stacked townhouses and even fourplexes and sixplexes. A big benefit, the drawings are free and nearly permit ready.
These are really ready-to-go drawings. You could be looking to cut 3 to 6 months off of your development time frame by using these plans, and we all know that time is money.
Ottawa hopes the streamlined permit process will save money and help boost supply, especially if multifamily homes are prioritized. But many developers say design hasn't been a big barrier to building.
Constructive materials have continued to go up. Approvals, development charges, just all of the inputs to housing have continually gone up over the years, as well as the time it takes for us to get them approved and build them. And that's really it.
Though developers admit the drawings could help small companies or individuals in some municipalities, experts say affordability will still be a challenge. Construction costs alone are estimated to range from about $205,000 to $5.7 million, depending on your location and type of build.
It's nice to have, it's nice window dressing, but it's not going to move the yardstick in, affordability.
$11.6 million was allocated to this project in the 2024 budget. Ottawa won't say how many new housing units it hopes the catalog will generate, only that it hopes the designs will make building easier and cheaper. Annie Bergeron-Oliver, CTV News, Ottawa.
Remembrance Day is right around the corner, but ahead of that somber day for reflection, several communities in our region held their own celebrations or their own ceremonies, offering people an opportunity to gather and pay their respects to those who made the ultimate sacrifice. Here's CTV's Kimberly Johnson.
The sound of bagpipes fills the air as the community comes together to remember those who never came home.
I have vivid memories of those times, and that stayed with me.
Dr. Dennis Osmond was just 10 years old, living in the United Kingdom during the Second World War. Being here today outside of the North Gower Cenotaph is a means to honor the Canadian and British soldiers who fought for his life and his family's.
The good times that we have, the freedom that we have, is on the shoulders of many people who didn't live to tell the story.
Held by the Manotick Legion branch, the service is one of several Remembrance Day ceremonies taking place ahead of November 11th across Ottawa.
Save the King.
Veteran Melanie Woodley laying the wreath on behalf of Indigenous veterans.
I believe that it's probably the most important day of the year, at least for me, to honor those that went before me and those who were unable to come home, and also for those that were able to come home but are maybe changed physically, emotionally, the families thereof as well.
Across the city, the Brantwood Place gates serve as a memorial backdrop for a ceremony honoring the lives lost to war.
We are breathing, we are living safely because of their efforts, their contributions.
Organized by the Montgomery Legion and the Old Ottawa East Community Association, organizers say 100 members of the community came to honor those who have served.
All my uncles served in the wars, in the Second World War in particular, and they're all gone now, and my dad as well. And, they went through a lot.
Peter Kroll says being able to pay tribute close to home is a chance for quiet contemplation with neighbors.
Young men and women still go through a lot, and I think as a civilian we still have to do something, and remembering them is the least we can do.
That was CTV's Kimberly Johnson reporting for us tonight. Well, some sad news from the hockey world this weekend. Former NHLer and Ottawa Senators general manager Mel Bridgman has passed away. Bridgman was the first overall pick in the 1975 NHL draft by the Philadelphia Flyers, where he spent his first 6+ seasons. In 1991, he was named the first general manager of the Senators, a post he held until 1993. Bridgman was 70 years old.
That's clearly not the type of medicine that the population wants.
Still ahead, yet another protest against Quebec's Bill 2 as doctors in that province raise concerns and many apply for licenses here in Ontario. Before we go to break, here's a live look through our snowy Centennial Glass Sky Cam. It is -2 degrees. At least 2 people have died in the Philippines as Super Typhoon Feng Wong hits the central and eastern parts of that country. More than 1 million people have evacuated from vulnerable areas, and officials are urging residents to follow evacuation orders as heavy rain, strong wind, and power outages hit some regions right across the country. And in Japan, tsunami warnings have been issued for the northern parts of the country today. Officials are asking residents to stay away from coastal areas after a 6.9 magnitude earthquake hit northern Japan. Overnight, Ukrainian strikes disrupted power and heating to 2 major Russian cities near the Ukrainian border city of Belgorod. Russian and Ukrainian sources claimed the latest strike hit a local thermal power plant. The report comes amid near-daily strikes between Russia and Ukraine as both sides target each other's energy infrastructure. A U.S.-led diplomatic effort to end the nearly 4-year war has stalled. Canadian travelers are closely monitoring the chaos at airports south of the border today. The U.S. government shutdown has led to major disruptions, and it's expected to get worse. CTV's Quebec Bureau Chief Geneviève Beauchemin reports.
Up on the board at the Montreal airport, just a few delays and cancellations, but plenty of travelers are bracing for the potential impact of trouble south of the border.
It's very scary actually pass over USA in this moment. Yeah, it's complicated.
I try to avoid to pass US actually, but I don't have any options.
More than 1,000 flights were grounded across the U.S. today. Order of the Federal Aviation Administration, or FAA. That slowdown started Friday to ease the pressure on air traffic controllers working without pay during the government shutdown. They're calling in sick in record numbers.
The controller seems more stressed. Those reports from pilots have gone up.
International flights are not targeted, but there could be fallout.
For Canadian travelers especially, if you're connecting on a U.S. flight within the country, that might be where the effect is greatest.
Canadian Airlines reported only minor disruptions today. Air Canada telling CTV News, we continue to fly our normal schedule, but we have experienced some delays of our transborder flights, a relatively small number of which have resulted in cancellations. WestJet also said it experienced some delays, most of which were under 30 minutes, that it rerouted some flights to mitigate the impact. But on the radar, an increase in the number of U.S. trips scrambled. 4% of domestic flights are now canceled. That could go up to 10% by Friday.
You know, like Portugal or Croatia.
At a travel show, some frequent flyers dreaming of an escape said this was one more reason to avoid landing in the U.S.
You know, maybe in 4 years and 5 years we'll go back to the U.S. We'll see.
Canadian Airlines say they will continue to monitor the situation closely for impacts this side of the border as more and more flights in the U.S. get canceled. Geneviève Beauchemin, CTV News, Montreal.
Thousands of Quebec doctors gathered at the Bell Centre in Montreal this afternoon, calling for the suspension of Bill 2. This is more than 200 doctors in Quebec have applied for licenses here in Ontario. CTV's Jack Richardson has that story.
Nearly 13,000 doctors from all over the province coming together at the Bell Centre.
We share a common passion. We want the health system to remain a health system.
All 4 federations of Quebec physicians were present, representing specialists, general practitioners, residents, and students.
The health system is really at stake, and we want to be all together to make sure that we keep a healthcare system that is appropriate.
The students are going to
be the ones that are going to be the most impacted, because we will be working in that sense for 30 years, 40 years.
The rally was held in protest of Bill 2, a law passed at the end of October by the Quebec government. Bill 2 imposed a new contract on the doctors, who have been without a collective agreement since 2023. It states that 10% of a physician's salary will be tied to performance targets that are set by the province.
We have a reform that really wants us to do fast food medicine. It doesn't give us the resources that we need to treat patients well.
That's the McDonald type of medicine that we do not want to give to the population, and that's clearly not the type of medicine that the population wants.
It's fitting that this is being held at the Bell Centre. Thousands here are bringing the same energy as a Habs game, all standing against the decisions made by the Quebec government. To start the event, the crowd voiced its displeasure with Premier François Legault and Health Minister Christian Dubé. Each federation then gave a speech. The students led the way.
What we're seeing currently is a government that doesn't listen to the people that actually know how to care for patients. And what we want is to have the resources to be good doctors. And that's not what we're provided with at the moment.
In a statement, Minister Dubé says the proposed changes are important, and the government will continue to support the doctors to clarify the bill. According to the Canadian Medical Association, Quebec is currently short about 1,200 general practitioners. Jack Richardson, CTV News.
188 banners hang in Bowmanville ahead of Remembrance Day to honor those who fought for Canada. As CTV's Carol Charles tells us, one banner represents a love story that began just after the end of the Second World War.
99-year-old Mary Brown takes a moment to look up and see a picture of her husband, Fred Brown. Brown enlisted for World War II service in the Canadian Army and was assigned to the Royal Canadian Corps of Signals. Over the past few weeks, his image has towered over King Street in Bowmanville. A happy memory for Mary just before she steps into Cut and Curl Salon for her weekly hair appointment. She is a bit of a celebrity at this shop.
Lady Linda and Miss Mary.
And takes joy in sharing stories about her life with Fred.
We got married the 27th of November 1945.
A long-lasting love affair.
69 years of marriage, so... 69? Yeah. Wow. That's pretty good.
It all began when Mary, who is originally from Aberdeen, Scotland, met Brown at a movie theater. He had traveled to Scotland from England by train while on leave from service.
He always had his uniform on in Scotland.
Mary says her Canadian war veteran spoke very little of the battles he saw.
All the time we were married, he didn't talk about it.
Why do you think?
I think they wanted to forget what they'd seen.
She says her Fred was one of the lucky ones. He survived World War II.
He was lucky he didn't get... The only thing, he got shrapnel in some parts of him.
After the war ended, they married, moved to Canada, and raised a family. Bowmanville has been their home since 1953, a place which holds decades of memories.
He was a good man, and he was a kind man, and I just loved him, and I still love him.
In September of 2014, at the age of 91, Brown received a service medal from the French embassy in Ottawa for the role he played in helping to liberate France. A proud moment for Mary, too.
Oh, you're darn right. And all my family, too. Everybody that served, we were proud of them. They were sticking up for their country.
Brown died on April 25th, 2015, at the age of 93. But his hometown of Bowmanville has not forgotten him.
I look up and I say, there's my honey.
Carol Charles, CTV News.
It will affect our health departments. It will affect our nursing homes.
As many in our region welcomed the recent rainfall, drought conditions persist elsewhere, including in New Brunswick, where officials are urging people to conserve water. Details straight ahead.
Get the latest live local breaking news. Sign up now for our morning and evening CTV News Ottawa newsletter. The best local content from CTV News. Your Morning Ottawa, and News Talk 580 CFRA. Get it all in one place. Sign up now at ctvnewsottawa.ca. The CTV News Ottawa newsletter is brought to you in part by CAA Business.
There's a live look at some of the highways across the city. You can see the snow really starting to accumulate as city crews work to clear the snow as quick as possible, but it is coming down. You can see some flickering lights there as well, so obviously some collisions to be aware of. Woodruff is completely blocked by snow, but we promise the road is somewhere behind there. Drive carefully. Things are slow moving out on the highways tonight, and for good reason. Obviously, this is the first significant dump of snow that we have received so far this season, expecting up to 20 centimeters, and it's been falling throughout much of the day, really kicking into high gear at around 12 o'clock today, give or take, depending on where you are in the city. But not everyone's prepared for it. Not everyone's dressed for it. Still some jackets in storage, I'm sure, that are getting cracked into today as we take our second look, our first full look at the weather forecast. You can see a lot of weather activity across the region. Those flurries smacking pretty much everywhere you look across eastern Ontario and into western Quebec. Different story out on the east coast. It's 5 degrees right now in St. John, 0 in Charlottetown, and 2 in Halifax. They have some cloudy conditions, but no precipitation right now. Currently, we're sitting at -2, and we're probably getting the most snow in Ontario, at least up there, because again, up to 20 centimeters is expected by the time it's all said and done, but it is quite cool in Timmins. They are also getting snow, currently -7 right now. It is -9 in Regina and -3 in Saskatoon, 6 degrees in Calgary, 14 in Vancouver with a mix of sun and clouds. So consider yourself lucky if you're in Vancouver, but you're probably not, because this is the Ottawa News. That's how that works. Anyways, beauty in Vancouver and along the west coast. Right now, we are expecting things to drop to -3 this evening. Potential for some ice pellets as well, maybe some freezing rain mixed in with that snow over the course of tonight and into tomorrow. A 40% chance of those flurries continuing, depending on where you are in the region. -6 is the low in the Ottawa Valley tonight, so that is going to be the coldest in our direct region here in the Seaway. -1, 0 degrees by tomorrow afternoon, but that snow carrying over throughout Monday, off and on, that chance of flurries. So prepare for a longer commute. And again, please drive carefully. Give yourselves a lot of time. 40% chance the snow carries into Tuesday before turning into slushy conditions for Wednesday and Thursday, because you can see that chance of flurries or rain, but we'll be over the freezing mark with highs of 3 degrees on Wednesday and Thursday. A break from it all, hopefully coming on Saturday with just a mix of sun and cloud, but a nasty week of weather here in the nation's capital. And as many in eastern Ontario have welcomed the relatively recent deluge of rain after challenging drought conditions, people in New Brunswick are being asked to conserve water as winter approaches. CTV's Sarah Plowman has more now on the struggle being felt in that province.
Water has been a worry for Louis Cormier. Checking the well, a weekly ritual.
A little over 4 feet 9 inches.
His wish for rain recently came true, but more is needed.
It's never been this bad.
Several parts of Canada are experiencing drought. Across much of the Maritimes, it's extreme.
We're looking at some of the driest conditions we've seen in over 30 years in the region.
Dry conditions hurt harvests and dried up wells.
Ours did really well until the end of August, and then it just quit. And it actually just started yesterday morning. We woke up to water.
Some relief for Sky O'Dwyer, but her troubles aren't over.
There's been a lot of mud and stuff coming from the well because it was so dry. And so now all of our filters and stuff are getting clogged.
As winter nears, New Brunswick is urging people to conserve water.
Every drop counts.
They want people to take shorter showers and use the washing machine less.
When we run out of water, that means we've run out of some kind of life in New Brunswick. It will affect our health departments. It will affect our nursing homes.
This agroclimate specialist notes dry conditions started last fall and started to be really felt by late spring. Unlike a hurricane or a thunderstorm, droughts come on slowly.
And it also requires slow recovery. So we're not going to see drought conditions recover overnight.
While there is some rain in the fall forecast, experts say it's not the amount needed to fully recover from this drought. Sarah Plowman, CTV News, Fredericton.
It felt like a bit of an abuse of power.
Left stranded at the airport. After the break, we'll share the story of a young Canadian woman denied entry into the U.S. as she was trying to visit her grandparents. The snow just keeps on falling, some of it thawing on our camera there, taking a look at the station. But again, a reminder, if you're on the roads, take it easy out there, folks. It is starting to build up on the roadways. Well, in case you missed it this week, it's not every day a golden retriever steals the spotlight at story time, but at the Arnprior Library, Cooper is doing just that. As CTV's Caitlin Wilson tells us, the therapy dog is brightening everyone's day, one pat at a time.
Sometimes my copper's hands shake. It's story time at the Arnprior Library. But today's guest isn't here for the books. When Cooper walks in, pages stop turning and suddenly the room lights up.
Whenever you pet him and everybody's happy with him, he gives back like the same energy. Yeah, he's just like the best and he just has a lot of joy.
The 6-year-old golden retriever is a therapy dog with the St. John Ambulance program. His visits here are part of the ongoing experience, helping him spread joy and connection, one wagging tail at a time.
His job is to provide comfort to people, to give them just a level of feeling good.
Cooper's been evaluated to work with those 12 and older, and his handler hopes to expand that to younger children. Beyond nursing and retirement homes, his latest visit includes this group of grade 7 students from St. Joseph's Catholic School.
Grade 7 can be tricky. Their moods can be all over the place, but he definitely brings them up.
Just ask them yourself.
I was kind of having a bad day today, and then he kind of like just came to me because he saw that like sad expression.
It makes it feel more calming at the library. Just from like petting him and stuff and like him looking at me and stuff, it just made me feel better.
For Carrie Phillips, every smile is a reminder of why she started this journey. A patient herself at the Heart Institute last December.
It just made such a difference for me to have a dog come and visit me while I was recovering there.
And in a space filled with stories, Cooper's is one of compassion.
I just want to like love him and I don't want anybody else to, but then I'm like, I have to share him, I guess.
Because sometimes the best kind of therapy isn't spoken, it's shared with a furry friend by your side.
I think it's a wonderful program. If anyone has a dog that they think would be as lovely as a Cooper, it's such a positive thing to pursue.
Do you think every library should have a Cooper?
Yeah,
I think so.
Caitlin Wilson, CTV News.
A young Canadian woman on her way to visit her grandparents in Florida was left stranded at Toronto's International Airport after U.S. border agents denied her entry into the United States. CTV's Adrian Gobriel has the story.
A controversial decision at U.S. Customs has left one 20-year-old stranded and her family fuming.
It felt like a bit of an abuse of power.
On Monday, her bag packed, 20-year-old Julia, whose family asked we not share her last name, arrived at Toronto's Pearson Airport U.S. Customs pre-clearance counter. Valid Canadian passport in hand, she waited an hour and a half in line before meeting a customs officer who began to ask her questions.
They thought it was suspicious, I guess, and decided to flag me and bring me to a different room.
Julia had a round-trip ticket booked with Porter Airlines to visit her grandparents in Orlando, Florida, just as she had done in February.
I was starting to hyperventilate a bit, and then they tell me that I'm denied entrance to America. They thought that I was illegally immigrating to the United States.
Julia, do you have any intentions of immigrating to the United States?
No, I did not.
U.S. immigration takes their orders from the top. And when there's a more anti-immigrant sentiment in the country, they have all the tools to use their discretion in a negative manner.
This Homeland Security checklist, completed by a U.S. Customs officer, claims that Julia didn't provide proof of a return ticket home.
I told them that I had a return ticket, and I told them the return date.
Customs also requested proof of employment and schooling in Canada, but the 20-year-old is currently unemployed and on a break from school until the spring.
The story is a true story and makes sense for that cohort, but U.S. immigration is suspicious, and they get full discretion to decide how they're going to respond.
Kate, why is it important for you to share your daughter's story with Canadians?
I hope that other people aren't going to face this. If our story helps any family avoid this, I mean, I think, a lot of people are boycotting travel to the U.S., and I'm all for it.
Immigration lawyers we spoke with say Canadians are now being asked more frequently to provide additional proof of their travel plans when arriving at U.S. Customs. Adrian Gabriel, CTV News, Mississauga, Ontario.
It brings such warmth to my heart.
Still ahead, why an Ontario man is looking to raise $25,000 for charity, running to give back to those who helped him so many years ago.
Hey. CTV and TSN 1200 want you to be the Myers Automotive Group Team of the Week. Your team could win $1,000 for new equipment, tournament fees, or an incredible team party.
Shoot us a quick video uploaded at ctvottawa.ca. Whether it's hockey, ringette, choir, band, or any team in between. Each week, the winning team will join us live in studio at CTV Ottawa at 6 to claim their prize.
Enter today for your chance to be Myers Automotive Group Team of the Week.
A Kitchener man is going the distance to make a difference. Jovica Savic hit the pavement this weekend for his nearly 52-kilometer run around the perimeter of Kitchener with the hope of raising $25,000 for those in need. CTV's Hannah Schmidt has more on how one refugee turned runner is looking to give back 1 kilometer at a time.
It's not about medals or finish times. For Jovica Savic, it's about helping those who are struggling to make ends meet.
It brings such warmth to my heart.
The local runner, refugee, and social media content creator says this 51.9-kilometer run is his way of giving back to the city that gave him a home.
I was born in former Yugoslavia. I was born in Bosnia. Kitchener has become the real, true home now. We've been here for, I think, close to 20 years now.
Savic, better known as Yahtzee Runs on social media, ran the full perimeter of Kitchener with a group of supporters in under 8 hours.
We just hit 25K. The sun is shining bright. Almost halfway.
His goal, to raise $25,000 for local organizations tackling homelessness, hunger, and mental health.
I saw a mother and a child on a corner, and the child was not much older than my own kids, and I'll choke up every time, talking about that, but that's really what prompted the whole thing.
Funds raised from the run will go directly to Ray of Hope, a local organization providing meals, employment services, and addiction recovery support to people in Waterloo region.
A year ago, we were maybe topping out around 200 for suppers, for example, and now we're topping out around 300. We are seeing more families, which is concerning, especially in our Marketplace Food Bank program.
25 years ago, my family came to this country.
Since his viral post titled Thoughts of a Refugee, Savic has connected with thousands of people across Canada.
Something just hit me, and it was like one take, and I said what I said. It was just thanking Canada for what it's done for me and my family.
Including some who've now become close friends.
I wanted to surprise him. You truly never know when that could be you in the situation, and it could be one paycheck away, or it's a hard world, and what he's doing is unbelievable.
With over 100 donations made and raising just under 1/3 of his goal, Savic says every step is for someone who's been left behind, a reminder that no one should be left on the outside.
It's just people taking care of people that are around them and surrounding them, because without community, we're nothing, really.
Hannah Schmidt, CTV News, Kitchener.
Turning now to some of the other stories that you need to know right now, and for this we bring in CTV's Kimberly Fowler. Kim.
Well, Austin, we have every year the Ottawa Police Gala supports local organizations by raising essential funds for nonprofits to help build a safer, healthier, and more inclusive city.
We're going to let you enjoy this meal created by Executive Chef Patrick Turcott and the team. Bon appetit, everyone.
Well, that's our Patricia Vole serving as MC during last night's 14th annual Ottawa Police Gala. Now, the event features a gourmet dinner, live music, auctions, and ceremonies in recognition of Ottawa Police. Now, since its inception, the gala has raised over $1 million, and proceeds this year will go to the Capital Prosperity Foundation and the Dave Smith Youth Treatment Center.
From just inside 45 yards, the kick is up for the win! Got it!
And the matchup is set for the 112th Grey Cup. Now, both the East and West finals ended in dramatic fashion. The Montreal Alouettes took down the Hamilton Tiger Cats with a last-second field goal. And then in the that's in the Eastern final. They'll square off against the Saskatchewan Roughriders, who scored a late touchdown over the BC Lions with 11 seconds left in regulation for that game. The Grey Cup is set for November 16th, and that'll be at Winnipeg's Princess Auto Stadium.
Shabbat, lead pass to Batherson. Batherson winds it, feeds it back, and they score!
Well, after 4 straight overtime games, including yesterday's win in Philadelphia, the Sens back on home ice tonight, taking on the Utah Mammoth. Ottawa is currently 7-5-3 on the year, and the Mammoth enter the game with a 2-game losing streak. Puck drop is set for 7 p.m. And Big Zed will soon see his legacy solidified in the Hall of Fame. Former Sens defenseman and Bruins legend Zdeno Chara will be inducted into the Hockey Hall of Fame tomorrow. The Stanley Cup champ and Norris Trophy winner voted in his first year of eligibility. And Chara played 4 seasons here in Ottawa.
I gotta say, I got all the respect in the world for Zdeno Chara. Classy guy, well respected, but seeing him lift the cup there is a gut punch. For those of you who don't know, I'm from the West Coast. Watching them beat the Canucks in 2011.
Well, listen, I feel your pain. Any Bruins players against the Leafs? Come on now.
Yeah, fair enough. Congratulations to Zdeno Chara.
Sure.
Yeah, he's big player, big personality, and an NHL legend, regardless of what he's done to our favorite teams.
Exactly.
This is my Lego room.
After the break, a Lego paradise will show you one man's creation of Alberta's capital city. Before we go to break, there is a look through our Centennial Glass Skycam. You really can't see too much. The snow is pounding the city, and it's -2 degrees.
Hairstyles, courtesy of Salon Fiorella.
Here's a recap of the top local stories we're following right now.
It is the first storm, so be cautious as you get used to those conditions.
Oh, we knew it was coming, and it's finally here. The first snowfall of the season as drivers flock to tire shops in a rush to swap out to winter tires.
It's one of the most important games in the world.
Snow be damned. Atletico is going for glory as we speak, and fans are excited, as you just heard. The club has taken on Calgary's Cavalry FC in the Canadian Premier League final. And remembering fallen heroes and veterans. Several ceremonies go ahead in our region ahead of Remembrance Day on Tuesday. And one last look at the weather forecast, because a lot of people are going to be glued to this, waking up to -3 degrees and a chance of flurries continuing throughout tomorrow, about a 40% chance, which is the same on Tuesday, although it'll warm up slightly by 2 degrees, the high of 1 degree on Tuesday, 40% chance continuing through Wednesday and Thursday, but those will likely be more slushy days, kind of a nasty mix between rain and snow, and we'll see how long this sticks around, because we have highs of 3 degrees on Wednesday and Thursday. Precipitation continuing throughout much of the 7 days, except for Saturday, when we hopefully will get a break with a high of 1 degree. Time now to check in with our late night team to see what the team is working on. Kim is here.
Well, we're working on 2 of the biggest stories that we were just talking about. So we'll keep an eye on the weather. Environment Canada says we could get upwards of 15 centimeters of snow right across eastern Ontario by tomorrow morning. And like you said, going on right now, the Canadian Premier League final being played right here in the capital. Atletico Ottawa vying for its first ever North Star Cup. The team facing off against Cavalry FC right now at TD Place Stadium. It is tied 1-1. We'll have a recap of tonight's match later on this evening. And of course, you can get the news anytime, anywhere at ctvnewsottawa.ca. Join me tonight for CTV News at 11:30.
Looking forward to that.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty impressive. They're playing through this blizzard with the stakes so high, so it's exciting to watch. So finally for us tonight, something that I'm pretty sure every child and honestly most adults will love as well.
Exactly. A YouTuber in Edmonton is building a Lego city 1 brick at a time.
This is my Lego room.
And that was content creator Jordan Forsyth. You can see him popping up there. He's better known as Brixie, and he has obviously a pretty impressive Lego collection. This is Brickmanton, which spans 75 square meters, a massive model made from millions of pieces. He and his wife started building Lego about 10 years ago with a Star Wars set, and his YouTube channel has since taken off. It took off in 2020, allowing him and his wife to quit their jobs altogether and focus on this full time.
Imagine that, quitting your job to build Lego all day.
No kidding. And it even had like the LRT system.
Very cool.
So cool.
Very, very cool.
Good night, everybody. Drive safe.